Hey, ladies.
Hey.
Hi.
Hey.
Welcome back. Good to see y'all. Oh, my goodness. Ignite your fuego. We're igniting our fuego today with this
Fuego, fuego.
unscripted episode. Yes, our unscriptedness.
Love Unscripted.
I do too. Yes. And this is episode
Less
4.
pressure.
Yes, it is. We can just lay back in the cut, as they say. But yes, less pressure for this episode 44. Manifest what you deserve. Yeah, this is great. We've been talking about this in everything from text to Marco Polo to FaceTime to being on the phone and everything else. So this has come up a lot lately. I know we talk about dreams and we talk about, dream into what you deserve, dream about what you think you deserve, what you know you deserve. And I think this is more about what you know you deserve and manifesting it. So we're taking it beyond.
Steps.
Yes,
Taking the steps.
taking the steps. And we're moving beyond the dream. For sure, for sure. So yeah, Shauna, you over there rubbing your hands together. I said, ooh, she got something to say.
I'm
You
just
looking
gonna
cute
go
over there.
You got this, Shauna.
No, Jeanette. You next. You next, Jeanette. So don't be trying. But Shauna.
I love this topic.
Let's go.
I love this topic. I do. Because I believe in it wholeheartedly. I've experienced it. I'm a witness with it in my own life growing up. From manifesting to wanting to travel the world, to becoming an exchange student, to experiencing being a flight attendant, to manifesting wanting to see what it's like to own homes and properties, and actually jumping and diving into that with my husband. We had properties and we had tenants, and we did all of those things, manifesting great couples around our marriage and letting life bring it to you, but also actively taking steps towards it. And what I notice about manifestation in my life is every time I put something out there, something great comes back to me. And it's this like yin and yang and this energy exchange. 1 second.
I love the energy exchange comment. All the things you list. I think Mia might have something to say over there, but we hear you, Mia. She hears you talk about all the wonderful things.
She's actually not in that fight, but she's perked up, and I don't want her to join.
Okay.
Yeah,
because she always looking for a good debate.
She said, "We're gonna manifest this. Come on over here."
Sure.
Bring that over here. I'll show you. Yes, so that's how I feel about manifestation. I've experienced it. I'm a witness to it, and I am like knee deep in it. This is what I'm doing right now. This is what I'm currently doing. I want to and will live the life of my dreams, and I will actively seek that.
Yes, Shauna.
The rest of the days that I'm on this earth.
Yeah, we are a witness to that just with you. I mean, by the time this episode airs, you would have been in North Carolina for, several weeks now. And just seeing your walk, doing what you're doing with the Heart of Chat, your own inner work, your brand, just how you show up and who you are. I mean, we've seen the growth. I think that growth has been, it looks different for all of us, but we're all, 3 of us are walking in that same path. So I just wanted to make sure I said that before I forgot that point. But we're definitely seeing it, and it looks great on you. What about you, Jeanette? What about you? What do you think of what comes to mind when you're thinking about or journaling about manifestation and what you deserve?
For me, manifestation, I know to a lot of people it seems very like woo woo, like, oh my God, like what do they mean? Just thinking what is that? What's the book? The book that I always talk about. Is it not The Secret? Is it The Secret? Was it talks about manifestation? And so a lot of people think on those terms. And for me, I love just using layman's terms. Like for me, it's just being intentional about the things that you do and creating the life that you want by representing that now, right? So associating yourself with the people your future self would want to be associated and aligned with, doing things to prepare yourself mentally, physically for your future self, and just being very intentional about those things. And of course, just thinking positively, right? Because that's a whole mindset thing. I know we've talked about this in another episode. Shauna read the book by Tara Moore. Oh shoot, I forgot the name of it. Shauna, what's it called?
Playing Bigger.
Playing Bigger. And the inner critic and the inner mentor. And so for me, it's a lot of like, what are the things that you're telling yourself and that you're believing about yourself? Because whether you believe it or don't believe it, it all can be true. I know we've heard that before. So like, if you believe it won't happen, it won't. If you believe it will happen, it will. And just being, So that's my take on manifestation. It's just more of just like setting intentions and being proactive about the life that you want and not passive about the life that you want. About you,
And
Lynn.
how appropriate. I mean, you both have said our subtitle for our Ignite Your Fuego journal is manifestation, setting intentions. I mean, it really speaks to what we're about and the walk that we're walking towards. My first thing that comes to mind is positive attitude. So I approach everything with positivity, no matter how bleak it may look initially, on the front end, but knowing where I want to go and what the results could look like, not necessarily the end results, because I'm going to count those milestones along the way as wins. And we talk a lot about wins, and I'm going to count those things. So where I am today, if I look back a year ago, so much has changed in a good way that I've been able to manifest some things in my career, in business, with family, and just setting those as small objectives or goals, and then noting those wins and baking in it, basking in it, whatever you want to call it, manifesting the things that you want. Because I look at career-wise, I'll just give a quick example. I never thought I would be a D&I or diversity, equity, inclusion expert, if you want to say that, right? But I've learned a lot. It's like, oh, okay, I'm being tagged to do this. Okay, I'm gonna think positive. Maybe I can do this. It's exhibiting the behaviors of that versus, oh, just go out and do this. So you have somebody recognize that, the diversity, the inclusion and empowerment. So I'm like, okay, but maybe how can I put this out and shine that light to the world? But where I am today and where I was a year ago is light years from where I was last year. So I look at all of that, and I think about that manifestation from that angle, which starts for me with being positive.
Yeah. That's how I feel about the three of us within the last year, Lynda. The three of us have grown tremendously, like you said, and the three of us have witnessed in each other's lives of the manifestations that's been happening for us individually and collectively, especially for the Heart of Chat and the future goals that we have for the Heart of Chat and where we see our lives going with our podcast and the brand that we are empowering in the world today. I'm just excited, and I believe that our heartbeats can feel and sense some manifestations going on right before their eyes with the Heart of Chat.
Yes, I agree. I'm just bursting at the seams because I'm like, oh, we have something so cool planned for y'all. Oh, yes, I'm going to put that in the show notes. We have something so cool planned for y'all and all of us, because I'm just bursting at the seams. I don't know when this episode airs exactly. I think it may be either the last Monday in July or first in August. But I think by then you all would have heard something, or will be hearing something like very soon, like right after.
A special announcement.
It's just going to make your heart so happy. And I'm like, oh, I need some duct tape or something to keep my mouth closed, because it's just so exciting what we have to share with you all. So we just want to put that in there and say thank you.
Yeah. And I think for us, manifesting the things that we want within the Heart of Chat and for our future selves, it's just as simple as the manifestation is the result of our actions that we've been taking, right? The things that we've been doing, the stuff we've been talking about, the intentions we've been setting. And so what we manifest through that is directly related to our faith and belief that what we have is something great and something that people want and need to hear. And what comes out of it, I think so. I'm saying this to get to a point, but what comes out of it is exactly what's supposed to come out of it, right? And I think that's where people get unclear, is that they feel like it's just some magic thing that you're going to create, that it's just going to magically appear it might not look exactly the way you think it's going to look, but the work and the effort and the belief that something great is going to come out of whatever it is that you're doing right now is I don't know, it's how I look at like manifesting things. Like it's not so much of like me sitting here and visualizing. I mean, a lot of people do visualizations. Look, y'all know I'm late to the train of like visualizations and all the little things. And I do a vision board. I don't look at it as often as I used to, but I should. But even like setting like a word for the year and seeing how that comes to pass, like is for me, like 1 year I had the word faith, and it was like, oh yeah, I'm just gonna have faith, da da da. Like, no, you're gonna be hit with like all these different trials and tests and things to strengthen you and build you up to get to that point. And so it's like a refining, I guess, that happens to you throughout that whole process. And the manifestation is the thing that is the result of all the stuff that you've done. And you can create that to be good or bad or somewhere in between, but it's a result of everything that you've done and that you've put into it, and holding on to that belief that there is something great for you at the end of all your actions.
And may I add, viewing that those results were exactly the results that was supposed to be. And if you look at it that way, you can't help but be present with it and stay positive with it. Because if you look at it any other way, it can cause you to start unraveling and living in a life of regret, or, oh no, I shouldn't have, maybe that wasn't the way, that's not the results. Or one of my guilty things is being so tied up into the results and not enjoying the process, which is the process is the part where the real growth is. That's where the real magic is.
Oh yeah.
Is the challenges and how you meet those challenges, and what comes out of you when you're bumped, when you're spilled over, like what comes out of you when you're, so that's where the real magic is the process. I'm talking to myself. This podcast is designed for me. So I'm gonna be real selfish right now and tell y'all that I'm taking all this in.
Like,
this is what I need.
Replay this later to myself and take
yes.
This is what I need.
Yeah. In your Heart of Chat journal.
I'm gonna say that later.
Drinking my coffee, wearing my shirt.
What did you say that? Oh yeah. Yes. We need like a promo, like quoted in there. Into your points of the heart.
Exactly.
Manifest your intentions.
Exactly. ...
But yeah, no, I feel that, Shauna, like it's just about being curious and being open, right, to what can happen. Like, just imagine if none of us ever took like these steps that we took to discover who we wanted to be, we would have never landed here together in this capacity. Because if one of us would have been scared to make, to make that leap or to step out and do something a little different and surrender to the process of everything that comes with that, we would have never got to this point. Like I didn't say, oh, in 2018 that I'm gonna have a podcast with two women that I've, met online, and it's gonna be like I wasn't thinking about none of that. I just knew one of my intentions is to always make an impact on people's lives, and God only knows how that purpose is supposed to present itself and what I'm supposed to do with it. But I trust that He's gonna lead me in that right direction to make it happen, as long as I continue to take steps forward, whether that means taking care of myself and healing myself, or using my voice and speaking out and being open to new relationships and stuff like that. So, yeah, it's just, you have to be open and to the process, like Shauna said.
Yeah, I like when we talk about being open, because I think back to almost 6 years ago. What if I wasn't open to saying hello to Shauna or accepting her hello when we met in a group that we were in? And we were in I don't know if it was entrepreneur related, Shauna, or if it was something that we were trying to start a blog. Was it blog?
It was blog, I think she said, yeah.
Yeah, it was, I think it was a blog group. And I was, I had my blog for like a year and a half. I was like, what am I going to do with this thing? I was doing it by myself. And it was like was like, I don't want to do this alone. And I'm going to meet somebody online. What? Are you serious? So, I took the steps and joined this group and, formed a friendship with Shauna, which later, we hooked you and Jeanette up. And then just, from that building, not being necessarily scared to take those steps, but then realizing, wow, there are people that are asking for this who want help, whether it's to write a book or start their own blog, maybe put together a journal. So 2 years ago, I took the steps to start the publishing company, because I wrote 2 books, but people were like, how did you do this? Oh my goodness, you showed up. How can I show up? So then I started that. But what if I didn't do that? So all of those things have manifested. And now here we are almost 2 years later, now building a whole process around it, which has been very enlightening. And I keep seeing how I can still continue to do better even with that. So it's going to get a year from now, it'll be something else. But then, you just never know how that'll all turn out. But if you don't, I think the first thing is showing up and then knowing that you deserve to follow your dreams and then dreaming into what you deserve.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
This is a great unscripted topic, because I feel like there is a lot of hesitation for people even to say that, I'm going to manifest, I want to do that. It just seems so like you're taking out whatever their higher power is out of the equation and you're putting it all on yourself that, you can do this all by yourself. And I think the opposite, I think, is putting faith in that whatever your higher power is, the universe, God, most high, whatever you call it, that you're putting your faith that there is alignment and things. What's that book? Things are always working out for your good.
Mm-hmm.
Oh God, I can't think of none of the books today. I have it right in my room somewhere. Well, I can't think of the name of it. Lynda,
That's a problem when you're an avid reader, and it's so hard to keep up with titles and author names because you're consuming so much.
I just started reading
different books.
Like 2 years.
Yeah.
But everything is working itself out for your good, but you have to continue to move forward towards it. And if you're scared to move forward, you're never going to have these things manifest in your life or come to pass in your life because you're just sitting there. A lot of people say that their biggest regret in life when they get to the end of their life is that they didn't even try. They didn't put themselves out there. And they just lived a whole life full of fear and, and now regret. So I don't regret any the bad relationships, the good relationships, like
nope.
Like it all is for a purpose.
We needed it.
Oh yeah.
I'm talking to myself. Sure. I told you this is a selfish episode right here. So I needed the good, the bad, and the ugly. Because I wouldn't be who I am if I didn't have any of that. And I love who I am. And I love who I'm becoming. I love my future self. I love myself today. And I love myself from the past. The good, the bad, or the ugly.
The alchemist.
So yeah. I just want to say, I would be so devastated had I not taken the leap to say yes to do this podcast or yes to committing myself to do life with you ladies. Like thinking about not having you in my life scares me right now. No. I'm so happy that we're together.
Yes, for sure. I agree, Shauna. Yeah, it was a no-brainer. It was like, Jeanette was like, we should do a podcast. I'm like, yeah. Like, I didn't know, I could spell podcast, but I certainly didn't know, like, what do you do to do one? It's like a show docket. What's that?
Right.
Look that up. How do you ask questions? How do you know what questions to ask? And I think about now, our episode 44 to where we were on episode 1. I mean, y'all, we were almost at 50 episodes. This is crazy. Halfway to 100 almost. And I think about that first episode. I'm like, oh my gosh, I remember me personally, and Shauna, you're not alone. This episode is for me too. I'm like, it's all stiff. I just remember, I'm like, oh, I don't even want to look at myself. I don't want to hear my voice. And I sound super hoarse today. Heartbeats. I was partying with my daughter, Maddie, from the Hey Maddie series at Hershey Park and some other things. So yes, that's why I sound hoarse. But just kind of like all stiff and looking and just like, okay, we're going to do this. Then to now just, falling into a rhythm of sorts, but we can pivot, like you say, Shauna, when we need to. And this episode is for all of us. I mean, it's for our heartbeats, and we love hearing from them.
Yeah.
And from us too.
I think for us with the Heart of Chat, and y'all can correct me if I'm wrong or say if that's how you feel or you don't. But for me, I feel like we came in it with the intentions of having fun and creating an experience for people, right? To either change, grow, to think, about stuff that they may not have ever thought about, and to feel like they've been heard. So just like creating an experience and how that transforms over time, I'm sure it's going to be amazing and magical and beautiful. But at the end of it, like, it's just, we want to create an experience for people that will cause them to think and have conversation and just, in Shauna's words, just see others as humans and allow others to be human, That's my personal take on it. I don't know.
I love that too. Yeah, this is great. And I think when we, as we built and continue to build, and life happens also. I mean, I think we pulled together and just built something beautiful. When we talk about writing, we made a couple of book recommendations here in this episode. We talked about writing things down and how that also helps manifest what you're working towards. And I think when we built the journal, we especially went into it the intention of a message for our heartbeats, a message for anyone that picks it up. And that message from each one of us was very personal. It is very personal, and it breathes within the pages of the Ignite Your Fuego journal. So that speaks to kind of the first steps of, writing things down, journaling with intentions, knowing what your intentions are. You don't have to have it all figured out. I mean, I could write that, we may have something, special coming up for you guys next year, but the steps to get there, we don't have to have it all figured out, but knowing that our intention, we use that journal or something else to get there, and we use that as a blueprint or a roadmap to get there. And I think those are also the importance of noting those steps along the way, because we wouldn't be where we are today if we didn't do the work 13, 14 months ago to get to where we are.
100%.
That's the part.
Yeah. Yes, doing the work. You do. Sometimes it's not fun. Like Shauna mentioned earlier, all the
it's grunt work.
Like building, like Jeanette has graciously been helping me with building my processes around the steps in the publishing process, and having it be more transparent for the client and also for myself, so I know where I'm at in the process, and I'm not emailing y'all at like 2 a.m. Oh, this manuscript is due tomorrow. But just so that part, I had to pull all those steps together. So it caused me to have to do a brain dump into all these different kind of documents and write it all out and say, oh, this is ugly, it's not pretty. And Jeanette is like, are you sure you want to do this part? I'm like, yeah, I'm sure. She's like, okay, so we're going to add this up. This does not add up to this. I'm like, oh, you're right. So, going back to the drawing board, back and forth. But I was finally able to start using the tool for my clients, and it's just been amazing. I look at where I was with Post-it notes and text messages to the pandemic hitting and going with online scheduling, to now going with something that's going to really help people as well as help myself, with the intentions that I set. So that's another example. What are some other examples that you ladies have like worked on, and you even if it was beginning of 2020 up until now, so we're looking at a year and a half, what did you kind of start that you're like, yep, I was here, I manifested it, and now it's here. It's this beautiful project or product that you're able to share with the world. Who wants to go first? Looking at y'all. I love this.
I'll go first. I'll go first.
Yes.
So I wanted several things for my life back in 2020. And one was more healing for my mind, body, and soul, getting stronger with dealing with my grief over my husband, and working hard on getting my leg to the position where it was strong enough for me to walk better and to get myself into a healthy space. And I also wanted to relocate. I felt in my spirit it was time for relocation. At the time of COVID, I couldn't do it. I had to sit still, which gave me time to really process, is this what you really want to do? And the resounding answer is yes. And so I've brought that to my life. So now I've relocated. I'm in warmer temperatures. My body adores it. My leg is doing so much better with the temperature. And so I thought about all those things in 2020. And every day I was intentional on either getting on my bike or doing yoga or doing whatever necessary things I needed to get my leg to a stronger space, from therapy for the grief and all of those things. So 2020, wow, we shouldn't be surprised, ladies, how much we grew, because the three of us was doing the doggone thing. We took advantage of that sit down time.
Mhm.
We took advantage of that sit down time and we poured the mess into ourselves. We consume positive energy, we consume positive content, we produce positive content, and we were on this daily road every day to take advantage of the gift of time that was given to us. So this year, it's just showing the results of it, and that's all manifestation is. So where do you want to be at next year, Heartbeats? Or where do you want to be at next week, tomorrow? You may not get the results right away, but every day work on what you're trying to do, believe in it, and it will come to fruition.
Yeah. Yeah, awesome. I love that example, Shauna. Yeah, I think giving that advice, to ourselves and also to our listeners, our heartbeats, who can also take, one, maybe two things that they've done in the last year and see where they are today and reaping the benefits of it. Even if it's not finished, it's okay. Yeah. Jeanette, what about you?
I think for me, mine goes back further, and it adds to my point of like, it doesn't have to look like everyone else, right? Whatever it is that you want and how things happen, it doesn't have to look like everyone. Doesn't have to come the same way that others dreams or purpose comes to them. So for me, oh God, like over 5 years ago, I said that like in 5 years I wanted to like quit my full-time job and do all the things. And I had someone tell me when she asked me like, well, what's your timeline? And I was like, oh, 5 years. And I kind of cringed because I felt like I was playing it safe. And I was like, I feel like it should be sooner. Maybe everybody else was trying to, hit six figures in a year and all these different things that make us cringe when we hear it. But she was like, no, that's great. She was like, because now you have a goal, you have a clear, direction that you're heading, and you should be okay with, whatever your timeline is and what that looks like for you. And it's just so funny. Like when it came for me, it was probably like a little bit over 5 years when it happened for me. And, but it was like the perfect timing. Right. And the opportunity that came with it for me to go full time in my business, to be able to do this podcast the way we're doing it with you ladies, and to work for an organization part-time that has where I can do some of the similar work that I'm doing within my purpose. Like it was just like stuff that at the time it just seemed like, oh my God, like I can't believe this happened to me, right? But when you sit back and you look at all the things that you've done up to that point, it's like, oh, I was preparing myself for this the entire time. And I remember I told myself 5 years ago, I didn't think about it much anymore. Like every now and then you just be like, oh, I can't stand my job. I had those moments, but it still wasn't like, I don't know, it wasn't something I thought about every single day. And so when it happened, I had to sit down and think like, oh, you said this 5 years ago, that this is something that you wanted to do. Or like I have old journals that I've written down things before, and stuff happens and I go back and look at what I wrote and I'm like, dang, I was talking about this back then and here it is, it's come to pass. So for me, it's just been a process of just being comfortable with my own process and how things happen for me, and not feeling it has to look like everyone else's journey. and being okay with that. And then taking that time to journal and write it down, because being able to reflect back and realize like, oh, I've been talking about this for years and didn't even realize I was talking about it for years. But other people can see it and be like, oh yeah, I remember when you said you were going to do this and that. So it's just the preparation leading up to that point, and just, Shauna always says it. She's got to keep moving forward. She's got to do stuff. Like you can't live in the what ifs forever. Like, oh, what if this happens? What if that happens? You're never going to know, right? And life is going to hand you things that you never even thought that you wanted. You never didn't even know you wanted until it happens to you. Building a brand with you ladies, like, oh, I'm gonna be a solopreneur. I'm gonna do all these things, but now I'm building a brand with you ladies and having like a partnership is like, something I didn't think about before. Everybody just wanted to be entrepreneurs. So I think just, moving through life and not staying in the what ifs too long and just moving forward it's just going to be imperative to, having the right things manifest for you in your life. It's just not going to happen if you don't move.
That's true. We are better together.
Better together.
Yeah, we are better together.
And moving that energy.
Yeah.
Moving that energy around. Like I feel like a refreshment of new energy throughout my entire body just by moving to North Carolina. And I feel like it's a shift, a great shift going on right now. So it's just about moving that energy. And in order to move the energy and to get what you want, you have to be involved and be one with that and be okay with the results. Yeah. And I like what you said, Jeanette, about being great about knowing that it doesn't have to look like everybody else, because when you get caught in that, you're in what we call the comparison trap. Now you're comparing your life with someone else's life. Now you're not on your path. You're breathing, sleeping, and eating somebody else's plan, and it's not a plan for your life. And then you're wondering why you're unhappy, confused, tired, trying and stuck. And that's part of the problem, is making sure that you are staying laser focused on what the life plan is for you. Know what's happening with others. You can admire what's going on, but you have to understand that what's going on with that person doesn't necessarily mean that's what's going to be the results for yourself.
Yeah.
And be happy with what's designed for you. As long as you're active and you're doing the right things for yourself, mind, body, and soul, you'll never lose at this game of life.
Yeah. And even, Shauna, to your point, when you are eating your own plan and realizing when your own appetite has changed, right? Like, and realizing that, you know what?
Lynda, we know about appetite because we let it eat.
We do. What time is it? Oh, yeah.
I thought I liked this, but I don't. Like, this is not appealing to me anymore. And being okay with like pushing that plate aside and saying, you know what, I want something different. And that is perfectly okay. And a lot of people feel like, but I had this plan. I said I was going to do this, and this is what it was going. But life is telling you that now you need to shift in this direction, because in order to get where you truly need to be, you need to go this way. And I think so many people just sit there at that table like, oh my God, remember when you were little and your parents would be like, you got to finish all your food, sit there till you eat it all. And you'd be like, I don't like it. And then I remember someone who I don't talk to anymore, but I was eating and they were like, well, you don't have to eat it all. Like you can just stop eating it. And I was like, dang, like he was like, yeah, we got into the habit when we were younger because our parents forced us to finish our plate, that we like gorge ourselves as an adult because we feel like it's in front of us. I have to finish it all. Like, no, you can literally just eat a little bit and then set it aside. You don't have to finish it. And I feel like, in life and with our personal plans that we have going and our personal plans for ourselves, and this is where I need to be by this time, you just end up stuck and unhappy. This is why so many celebrities, you see them in spaces where they're just like, they have all the money in the world and they are not happy. Drug use, suicide rates, like those things are real for them because a lot of them are not living the life that they want, but they feel like there's these expectations that they have to continue in that path. So just be aware when your appetite has shifted and it's time to move on to something new.
And that just goes to show you, I love that example, Jeanette. because that just goes to show you that everybody has to do the work. No one is exempt from doing the work to get the best results as in this human life and this human experience. And that way you are prepared for when great things happen to you. You know, you stayed ready. You know, you didn't have to get ready because you're constantly staying prepared for whatever opportunities come your way. So a lot of celebrities were in an unfortunate position where they didn't get a chance to work out maybe childhood traumas, where they didn't get a chance to work out different things in their lives because maybe the stardom came on too fast or the contracts came too fast or whatever came their way came so quickly that they didn't have the opportunity or the growth mindset to be able to live the life of their dreams in the capacity that it looked like they should live, because those things were not, that time was not afforded for them to flesh those things out.
Yeah.
So this is why it's ongoing. This is not a one and done. I wish it was a one and done, because this is a lot of work.
It is.
It is not for the faint at heart. You got to be strong-willed at taking charge and facing the challenges that come to you day to day. Every day is a mystery. Every moment is a mystery. You can have all the plans, in Jeanette's voice. You can have all the plans. You could read all the books. You can buy all the journals, right? What you gonna do with it?
Right.
It's like, what are you gonna do with it? And my mentor always told me, if you know better, once you know better, you should be doing better. It's a choice. It's a choice. We can rewrite the story. What your story look like today, which does not have to be. It's not the end all be all. Rewrite it. Pull out a notebook and write down what you want your story to be and start taking active steps to make it happen. And I'm talking to myself with your Ignite Your Fuego planners, which are located on our website, your Ignite Your Fuego shirt, and don't forget your Heart Attack coffee mug. Because these things will help you reach your dreams, your goals, your strategies, whatever you're looking for. Everything. We talk about journaling a lot. We repeat some of the same things on all of our episodes, but I will tell you, Heartbeats, these are the things that Jeanette, Lynda, and Shauna are doing every single day. If you had a bird's eye view of our lives, real life, every single day, everything we putting out on this podcast, we are doing it. And we're seeing the results. And we want to see the same things manifest in your lives because we love you.
That's right. Daily basis. It's daily work. It's hourly. It's minute work. All day, every day. And we do have fun. We do. We laugh, we talk, we joke.
We have to have fun.
Also, but it's also, knowing that, not letting a week or a month go by. You're like, oh, yeah, I was supposed to do that. Or maybe, it means that much to you, to do it. I think about Jeanette's persistence with wanting to do a podcast. So I think, Jeanette, you shared in earlier episodes and with us that, 4 years ago that you had set out on the path to do a podcast. So what if you hadn't brought that back to us last year? What if you were just like, oh, yeah, that was a dream. It's not gonna manifest into nothing. I don't.
It was all a dream.
Yeah, right.
We were in magazines.
Salt and pepper, heavy D up in the limousine.
Well, it was a Word Up. Was it the Word Up? Right?
Yes, Word Up magazine.
Word Up magazine. I love that magazine.
Me
Word
too.
Up.
Yes. So yeah, what if you didn't bring that to us? What if you just said, oh, this is not gonna manifest into nothing. I don't deserve this. It's a done deal. We wouldn't be where we are today. So it was imperative that all of these pieces show up and they fit together. So that's what got us where we are right now.
Yes.
Yeah. And it's a process, right? Like, I might not do every single thing. I might not get up, read a book, journal,
right,
pray, yoga, do manifestation, visual. I don't do every single one of those things every day, but like we talked about before, it's a matter of pulling those things out that is going to get you recentered and back focused, and pulling out the tool that you need that day for that specific job you're trying to get past or get through.
Great point.
Even with like the things that, we laugh and joke when we pop in our merchandise and stuff like that. But we didn't just create this just because like, oh, we just need to make some money, or like, oh, this be cute. Like the journal was created with a lot of intention. And even when I look at like our intro that we put into it and like our individual words that we share, I don't even know if a lot of people who follow us that don't have the journal know that those even exist. I wonder if the people that bought the journals have even opened it up and know that there's entries in different points.
It's such a pretty journal. I can see why no one would want to write in it.
Let's do a poll. Find out. We'll do a poll.
How many of you know that
yes
in here, from us, and words, just to kind of help motivate you throughout the process, because we knew that throughout journaling in this process you were going to need some extra words of encouragement. The coffee mug, like we love coffee, we like tea, all the things, but we talk about sitting with it and being intentional and like just being still for a few minutes. The Ignite Your Fuego t-shirts is a reminder, like, you don't like just wear stuff on your body just because, like, it's a reminder to yourself and to everyone around you, these are the things that I'm doing, this is who I want to be. And so like, I don't want anyone to think that we create these things just, oh, this is what the masses are doing, this would be for fun. No, we know what the people that really listen to us, our true heartbeats, like what they really need and desire and what we needed throughout the process. So like, if we're going to give you tips and tools and things to do, then we're also going to give you the resources to make that happen as well.
That's right. Yep. Excellent point. Excellent points. Love this, ladies. Yes, the manifestation.
Turn. I mean, the title might not be just manifestation because this whole unscripted took a turn, but that's the point, right? I love unscripted. This is a Marco.
Yes, I do too.
Right?
Yeah, this is for sure.
For sure.
Yeah, I love it. Yeah, but it gets down deep into, recognizing it too. I think recognizing that you're on the path. If you're going off track, ask for help. Reach out to us, reach out to people that I think earlier in the episode we talked about aligning yourselves, that alignment with like-minded people. Feel free, inbox us, email us, get on our mailing list. Yeah, please. I mean, if we laugh, we joke, and even we did our live when we were in Raleigh a few weeks back. I mean, that right there, you're connecting with us, you're asking questions. Do that on a continuous basis. You don't have to wait for an episode. If you're binging, we know a few people right now that are binging a few episodes from this season and last season. If you run across something, ask us. It could be episode 16, it could be episode 12. You don't want to be the best kept secret. That's like one of my favorite episodes from season 1. And, think about it, say, okay, I'm going to stop right now and I'm going to inbox them a question, or how did you get to where you are? So yeah, it doesn't just stop with each episode. This is continued partnership. It's a continued.
We're building relationships
with our heartbeats. Yeah.
Yes.
And stay tuned for the exciting stuff that's coming up. So you can continue to
at the scenes, y'all.
I am busting at the scene. I'm like, okay. Jeanette's
we record one more episode where she can't talk about it.
I know. Jeanette's going to start recording. I'm like, no, the recording disappeared. Where's the red dot? Okay.
The recording has ended.
Yes.
You sound just like it, Jeanette.
Yes. Awesome.
So tips, final remarks, ladies.
Keep walking your path, but also know that the work always continues, and just keep doing the work. Ask for help. I mean, I don't think that's something that I harp on a lot, but I think it's something that I know, but I want to express that. Ask for help, reach out. There are people out here that can help you in many different ways, and make sure that they're like-minded people that align with you. Yeah. So I would say that is kind of a last tip.
Definitely.
I would say stay in your zone, which is just fancy for stay focused.
Stay in your lane.
Don't give up. Stay in your lane. We got to add that in there too. Don't give up. If you believe in it, don't give up. Find your tribe that believes in you and you believe in them.
So to that point, I would say it's all about you. It's always about you. And what is it that makes you happy? What is going to make you your best self at the end of the day? So everything that you do, that you think about doing, do it for yourself first. and think about yourself always, because you have to make yourself happy and you don't want to let yourself down. Everybody else will be okay, but you don't want to let yourself down.
Because they will move on.
Yes.
Tell you.
Yes, they will.
A recovering people pleaser. Let me tell you.
Yes, yes. I'm telling you, you see the smoke from the headlights.
Oh, well, I think Lydia almost made an appearance. She was like,
I was like, I started
Lydia,
twitching.
get back in there.
Oh, no, okay, all right, we're back now, and we're
She
back.
said she started twitching.
I did.
Oh my goodness.
We'll save that for a future unscripted.
Yes. Shauna, you want to?
We gonna.
Oh, go ahead.
Yes, we gonna bring her out one day, Jeanette, so that she could say "Fuego, baby." We gonna bring her out.
See fire come out of my ears.
Lydia come out on Marco Polo every now and then. We got a taste of Lydia a couple of nights ago, which was hilarious.
Oh, yeah.
And I loved it.
Yeah.
Very.
Oh, that was
very.
fun. I was in the moment. I was like, what? Okay.
That was that new that was that orange. What's that? New Jersey?
The East Orange.
That East Orange representing.
Yes.
Boy,
yes,
boy.
yes, yes. South Orange Park, whatever it's called.
Whatever it's called now, right, Lynda?
Whatever it's called now. Right, exactly. Yeah.
1 and 9. 1 and 9. Y'all know.
Yes, yes.
Shauna,
All right.
you out, let them know where to find us.
I sure will.
Things.
Yes, you can find us on our website, YouTube, IG, Facebook, and Twitter. And don't forget to share this episode out or any other episode that resonated with you. Bring us some new heartbeats over. We're looking for new heartbeats. We love y'all. We love y'all. Ignite your fuego, baby. Please come back next week and every week, because it's gonna be fuego, baby. Come back.
Yes.
Yes. Thank you, ladies.
Thank you.